Welcome back everybody to the channel. Today we're taking a look at a 2023 Kia Telluride. Let's take a look. So let's start off as usual with the front, and the thing that sucks the most I think is they took off that nice orange surround thing that they had, the daytime running LED light. It sucks, it gave the car character and I don't know why they removed it, but they did replace it with these nice normal daytime running LEDs. The main headlights are right there, very nice, and then the fog lights are just a little bit lower. Also this year they kind of redesigned the grille from the previous year, so you have something a little bit different. You got some 360-degree cameras right there, the front-facing cameras there, and the sensors are all around. I wish too that they maybe put a fog light here in this fence instead, because it kind of looks nice, but overall if we pan back here we can see that it's a very nice overall looking front end. So this is the X-Line trim. You can go one higher and get the Pro line, but you can see that has a little bit of a higher ride height as well. And then we also have a 360-degree camera, a self-leveling rear suspension, rear cross-traffic alert, and a blind spot detection as well. Pretty standard stuff, but we like it. Under the hood for the Kia Telluride, we have a 3.8 liter V6, and it has an 8-speed automatic transmission paired with it. But the good news is, maybe bad news, is that it's only one engine across the board. No matter what trim you go with, you're getting this engine. But this engine does 291 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque. Okay, so let's look at the Telluride from the side. Let's take a look at its side profile. It's a very nice looking one. It looks more rugged this year. The only thing that I wish they would have painted that black fender, that black wheel surround that you see there. It should have been painted what the body looks like, because on the camera even, it's a little bit hard to see the wheels. They're nice 18-inch alloy wheels, but they're just hard to see because it's all black above them. So they would have stood out way more if it was painted the same body color, at least on the Pro trims. The other slightly disappointing thing is that you cannot unlock the car from back here. You do, however, have a sensor here, which I don't know if it will get frozen in the winter or not. The key's in the car, that's why it's beeping at me, but it might get frozen in the winter, so keep that in mind as well. Moving on back though, we have a nice rounded back end. You saw at the front it was a little bit more angular, a little bit more, you know, rugged, I guess, and this is more circular back here, but we have the nice Kia Telluride writing and then those nice curved headlights. I do like the back end quite a bit. Then we have the rear wiper right here, and as well as the camera for the digital rear view mirror, which we love. Then we have some dual exhaust just down there. It's not a very loud sounding car, even with the V6 you really can't notice it too much, so nothing important to say there. Nice X-Line badge, but let's pop open the trunk. It's obviously automatic in this price point, it needs to be. And then I have a whole bunch of my stuff going on here, but you can see I have just enough room, and if for whatever reason you needed more room, you could take this and you could pull this little lever, or this little handle here, and then boom, you have that fold down and you get a nice view of that wonderful interior color. But speaking of interior, let's take a look inside. Okay, so let's start off with the back of the Kia Telluride here. It's hop right in, and already we're greeted by this very, very nice color all around, some nice ambient lighting kind of in the evening so that I could show you that. And then as you look at this color, it just goes all the way around and it's so nice, very satisfying. Nice and big doors too, with of course you've got those peasant blockers that we all know and love. USB-C here in the headrest. Then you have kind of the worst place to put piano black and some cup holders, because you know, if you have kids in here, they're gonna put their feet there, and you know, I mean, that's gonna get damaged probably. And then you also have a you have a normal household plug and a 12-volt little outlet here, which is great for your charging needs. And then if we move all the way up, we have our HVAC controls. Kia has taken the genius idea of putting things up there so that if you do have kids back here in the back seat here, well, if they decide to kick things, they're not going to mess buttons up or mess screens up here, so you can control all your temperature stuff from there. And if you're wondering, yes, it does have heated and ventilated seats right here on the column. Ventilation is a really rare one. Usually we don't see that, but Kia's got you covered with those ventilated seats. I am very, very comfortable in my seating position here, right behind my driver profile. I've got so much room. These seats, of course, do recline and they move backwards and forwards as well. I've got nice space here for the cargo, and then also these armrests here that you see are adjustable, so it can go all the way down and then up here, and then, you know, it's very good, very easy. Now let's hop into the back row. It's not as easy to get in to as we've seen in previous years, but it's relatively okay. And then sitting back here, obviously I would not expect to have that much room, but there is enough for a 5'11" adult, so that's not too bad. I'm sitting here and I have some USB-C plugs here, 2 cup holders, and then all the way on the other side we have a kind of like a cave to store stuff, And there we go. And this actually is the only side that has that cave. So if you find yourself stuck in the third row, make sure you sit on the driver's side to have a little bit more storage to you. But what I also love is that we also have a separate sunroof for me. So I feel like I have enough light back here. That said, it's evening right now, so I honestly have a really, really good amount of room. And very good view of every inch of the car with this wonderful color. So let me hop up front and let's take a look at that. Okay, so hopping up front now of the Kia Telluride. It's one shot, you get in. Even with that higher ride height, it's still very, very easy to get in. And then you're just greeted by this wonderful steering wheel. I love the design here. I love kind of like the 4-spoke design where you have some volume controls, and then you have probably one of the best lane keep assists ever. Hyundai does it well too. Kia does it very, very well as well. It's pretty much just a lane. It's just a lane keep. It's not even a lane keep assist. It's just a lane keep. But overall, the steering wheel feels very nice. Love that Kia logo. I just love it. Just blends in with the whole, dark tan interior kind of thing, and I love it. Anyways, we have a really nice gauge cluster screen for the driver. If you go down in trims though, it will kind of look like the Kia Soul, so just keep that in mind, where I can cycle through like my drive modes, and you'll see how it changes. It's really fast, really snappy. They really improved the speed of these things over the years. And then, you have your compass, different tire pressure, and where the power is coming from. Just basic information. Also, we have a small heads-up display there, which is showing my speed and navigation if I have any on. On the left-hand side here, we got some illumination stuff, tow, hill descent, climb, obviously the trunk button and traction control off. Then I have some nice open wood here on the door with a very nice door handle. This is one we saw in the Sportage with 2 memory seats, which we love. Then I have, yes, a digital rearview mirror. Check that out. Here I am. Hello, there's the camera, and then boom, there is the car behind me that is parked. Very nice. Love that digital camera. Love that it's here on the Kia. And then we have this 12.2-inch infotainment display that it's very, very simple. It's one of the simplest in the game. It's the same one that you would have seen on a Hyundai. You'd see it on the Kias for this year too. They really haven't changed much to it, but it works. It's effective. It's not broken, so don't fix it. The only thing is it doesn't have wireless CarPlay or Android Auto. It's only wired. It is still there. It's only wired. That's the only unfortunate thing about it. I really, really wish it was for the price. Then move down, we have some media controls, and this is how you can control your infotainment display with buttons. It's very nice aluminum. I like the feel of these knobs here on either side. Then we have our HVAC control as well as our heated steering button, which I love that too. And then, it's obviously dual zone automatic. And then we have all the controls laid out here. Very simple. Very, very simple. We don't need an extra screen like we saw on the Palisade. I didn't feel like I needed it, and this is just simple and it's rugged, and that's what I like. Then probably my favorite thing here is this toggle switch for your heated or ventilated seats. It's toggle down for ventilated, toggle up for heated. I love that. It's the same thing for the passenger as well. Then we have a little bit of storage. This is all piano black here, so it's a bit unfortunate, but storage where we have USB normal and then USB-C, and then we have a wireless charging pad right there. Then they just went with a normal gear shifter, which I like. None of that dial stuff. I like this. I like to put my hand here, and then this is where you're going to select all of your drive modes, and then also your parking sensors, parking camera, parking brake, all that good stuff. So nice little bit of cup holders. Then if we look over in here, we have some stuff to store. It's pretty deep, and there's a USB-C charger in there as well. And then just taking a look, last but not least, at this wonderful, very nice seat, which is very, very comfortable. The bolsterings here is very good. We'll talk about it when we drive. It's all very comfortable. Love the color on the interior of the Telluride. Also, we get our own little sunroof here. So everybody in this car has enough light. I really like the design in here. Really, really love this color. This is the exact configuration I take. Let me know what you think though, and leave a like if you enjoyed so far, but let's get to the driving. Okay, so sitting inside, the GoPro strapped on my forehead, we got the Kia Telluride 2023 X-Line, and I am very, very comfortable doing just about any kind of maneuver. The seats are very comfortable. The bolstering is very good in here. It's tight, it's adjustable. I've found that it has enough options to keep me satisfied for the long run, so that's good news. It handles its bumps very, very well, and I also have a couple of drive modes. Like I said, I got the comfort, I got the sport, and I got the smart mode. I'll throw it in to sport mode, of course, because we're doing this lovely review here, and then I'll allow the traffic to get away from me here, also keeping a good eye behind me. But let's do it early. Let's go ahead and go with the little ripperoonie of the 2023 Kia Telluride performance test. Let's hit it. Oh yeah, that's all the way to the floor. And let me tell you, listen, it doesn't bring that crazy like screaming reaction. I feel under control the whole time, but this thing has definitely got power. Let me put myself back in eco because I don't want to be burning money the whole time I'm driving. But yeah, it's got quite a bit of speed. That V6 has really got some power. And when I look at it compared to when I drove the Palisade, although I did drive the Palisade in like crazy weather, like minus 40 weather, this just feels faster. Maybe because it's warmer, I don't know. I'd like to maybe get the Palisade again in the summer and test it too, but it could be. I feel like the Telluride might just have a little bit more kick to it. The V6 in here is very, very good. You know, you're not gonna have a problem passing slower traffic, and I felt like it's not, like I said, it's not a crazy thing where you go and then you're in the back of your seat and you can't see anything because you're going too fast. You're very controlled when you are going fast, but that is good because you also want to be safe when you're going at high speeds. And then if I throw it, you know, if I can chuck it in this corner too, I'm in eco mode even, and I can chuck it in the corner and it just, there's obviously a lot of body roll, but I can kind of throw it into the corners a little bit like this, and it handles very well. I feel under control the whole time. The steering is not as responsive as I'd like. I mean, sport mode doesn't make all that much of a difference. It does stiffen things up, but in terms of feedback, it's just not there. But you don't care about that because all you really care about is merging onto the highway quickly and efficiently with this kind of vehicle, and it does that excellently, so I'm really not worried in that category. The overall visibility for this is really good. I like the ride height. This does have an elevated ride height, like I mentioned, than the other, you know, some of the lower trims. The visibility is good. Blind spot visibility is good. Overall, I feel like I can see everything. I feel like when parking, I have a good sense of how big the vehicle is, and it's nice. You know, the vehicle it's big but not too big. It's like right in that perfect sweet spot where it is a 3-row, so if you need that capacity, then you're good with people. And then you could also fold it down and have even more room, which is great. So it doesn't have like a big presence on the road. I don't feel like I'm overly big. I don't feel like I'm overly tall. I feel, you know, like I'm in a normal SUV, which is great because this is actually a 3-row and a full-size SUV, so we love that. Let's talk a little bit about the fuel economy. Well, it's exactly what you'd expect from a 3-row. Like I said, it acts like it's just like a normal 2-row SUV. It kind of drives and feels like that, but on the fuel economy side is where you see it. It's got a lot of pickup. It's got a lot of things to get going. So when you push the pedal, you're using a little bit more gas than you maybe like. Right now, I've been doing highway and city driving. You know, I'll start in the city, go to highway, go back to city kind of thing, and I'm sitting at 11.2 liters per 100 kilometers, which isn't terrible. That's actually not the worst I've seen, right? I mean, like I said, if you've watched my videos before, you've known that other vehicles are way worse. And if you really want that king fuel economy feeling, then you're gonna have to go with a plug-in hybrid SUV like the Kia Sportage. If you haven't seen that video, you know where to go. But if you don't care about fuel economy and you want like maybe more of a rugged SUV and you want all the good and nice features that Kia has to offer, well, then you're in the right place. Now, I know this car is going to get compared, and I probably have been comparing it a lot to the Hyundai Palisade, and usually, this isn't the case, but usually I would take Hyundai products over Kia. But when it comes to the Telluride, I am going full Telluride, and let me tell you why. It's just because I feel like the Telluride is more simple without overdoing itself. It doesn't, you know, even the X-Line, it's kind of the higher model. It's not trying to do or be something that it's not. It's a big 3-row SUV. It's rugged. It's meant to be used. And, you know, that's pretty much all it is. You know, you don't need that second screen. I don't really need more than that. Although it is nice to have, I don't really need more than that. And I just overall like the look and the feel of the Telluride a little bit more than I enjoyed the Palisade, which I did not think would be the case. So Kia has really surprised me there. The fuel economies are the same. The infotainments are the same. The ride quality is relatively the same. It's kind of based on looks for me and just convenience and what I look for in a car kind of thing. You know, both cars tick every box that I was looking for. I just prefer the Kia, the way it drives and just the way it feels and the way that I look at it. And, you know, the interior, the design is much nicer to me. I know a lot of people won't agree with that, but there it is. That's the hot take of the week for you. I like the Kia Telluride a lot. I think, you know, it is expensive and it is getting up there. It's around that like $65,000 price point, which is expensive. Don't get me wrong, that's a lot of money for an SUV. But you can go lower and you're still going to get a lot of these key features that I mentioned, and it's great. I'm still a big fan that Hyundai and Kia can do that. Reliability wise, couldn't tell you, don't know, because I only drive these cars for a week. So if you have reliability issues, let me know in those comments, and you know, tell me what they are. Tell me your nightmares. I want to hear all of it. I want to hear what you think. Do you think that the Palisade is actually the superior car? Or, you know, do you agree with me and the Telluride has it this year? I do wish, though, that they had those orange lights. That would have been way better, but you know what? That's what it is. So I think that's going to do it for today's video for the Kia Telluride. There isn't so much you could really say. It's a big 3-row, and that is going to do it for today's video and for today's POV drive. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you've made it this far, you have to leave a like, and you also have to subscribe. It's mandatory, and it helps me more than I could even explain to you. One like, you know, helps me more than I appreciate every single like and every single person for watching my videos thus far. So thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.